ocean is gray below you. The engine hums. Your hands are steady on the controls. You are 22 years old. Ahead of you, through the scratched glass of the cockpit, a dark shape sits on the water. An American warship. It grows larger with every second. You already know how this ends. This is a job, not a choice, not a question. A job. Your family doesn't know you are here. They think you are at the base, training, eating rice, writing letters. They don't know about the mission. They don't know this is the last time you will ever see the ocean, but we are getting ahead of ourselves. Let's go back. It starts in a classroom, not a battlefield, a classroom. You are sitting at a wooden desk in a room that smells like chalk and old paper. Your instructor stands at the front with a pointer and a map on the wall. The Pacific Ocean spread wide and flat, covered in small red markings. Each red mark is a ship we lost. Each red mark is a battle we did not win. The instructor doesn't explain this. He doesn't need to. Everyone in the room can see what the map means. Japan is shrinking. You are 18 years old. You have been flying for 6 months. 6 months of drills, of landing on chalk runways, of climbing and diving and feeling the earth tilt beneath you. You love it. Not because of the war, because of the silence at altitude, because of the way the world goes small and quiet when you climb high enough. That is why you volunteered. Not for the emperor, not for the speeches, for the silence. You didn't know then what you were actually volunteering for. The letter arrives on a Tuesday morning. You are eating breakfast with the other cadets when your name is called. You walk to the front. The officer hands you a sealed envelope. You feel the weight of it before you open it. Inside, 4 lines of text. You have been selected for special assignment. You will report to the southern airfield by Friday. Tell no one. You fold the letter. You walk back to your seat. You eat the rest of your breakfast slowly because you do not know what else to do. The southern airfield is different from the base you came from. Quieter. Fewer planes in the air. The men here move slowly, with a kind of deliberate calm that you don't recognize at first. Then you understand it. They are not rushing because there is nowhere left to rush to. You are introduced to your instructor. He is older, maybe 35. His face has the kind of stillness you see in photographs. He looks at you the way a man looks at something he is about to use for the last time. He shows you the plane, a Zero, but different. The landing gear has been stripped, the extra fuel tanks removed. You don't need to come back, he says. He doesn't say it harshly. He says it the way a man explains a train schedule. Matter of fact, practical. This is a one-way mission. You stand in front of the plane and feel the sun on your back and the gravel under your feet, and you do not move for a long time. Training begins the next morning. You wake before sunrise. The dormitory is cold. The other pilots are already pulling on their flight suits in silence. You count them. 14. 14 men in this program. Some are your age. One is younger. His name is Kenji. He has a round face and keeps a small photograph folded inside his collar. His little sister, he tells you one evening, sitting outside after dinner. He shows you the photo. A girl, maybe 8 years old, standing in front of a house, squinting into the sun. She doesn't know I'm here either, he says. He laughs a little. You don't laugh. You look at the photograph for a long time, then you hand it back. The training is not what you expected. You expected violence, speed. The instructors are calm, methodical. They teach you navigation by stars. They teach you how to compensate for wind drift at low altitude. They teach you how to hold your angle of approach constant, even when your hands want to pull back, especially when your hands want to pull back. That is the part they repeat the most. Do not pull back. You practice approach angles in simulations. You practice them alone in the cockpit on the ground, hands on the controls, eyes on a painted target across the field. You practice until the angle becomes instinct. until your hands know what to do before your mind decides. One evening, your instructor sits next to you on the edge of the runway. He lights a cigarette and offers you one. You take it. "Are you afraid?" he asks. You think about the question. Of the impact, you say. Not of dying. He nods. He takes a long drag. "That is the right answer," he says. He doesn't explain what he means. There are letters you are allowed to write. One letter. To your family. The rules are strict. Nothing about the mission, nothing about the location, nothing that could identify what is coming. You sit at the small desk in your room with a sheet of paper and a pen, and you try to write something that contains everything without saying anything. You write and cross out. You write and cross out again. Finally, you write about the sky. You tell your mother the sunsets here are different from home. You tell her the clouds sit lower over the ocean. You tell her you eat well, which is not true. You tell her you think about home. That part is true. You fold the letter. You seal it. You do not know if it will arrive before or after. You try not to calculate that. A week before the mission, Kenji is removed from the program. You don't know why. One morning he is there. The next morning he is not. His bunk is stripped. His things are gone. Nobody explains it. You tell yourself it's because he was too young. You tell yourself that because the other possibility is harder to hold. That night, you go outside and sit on the same spot where he showed you the photograph. You look at the stars for a long time. You don't feel angry. You feel a kind of emptiness that has no name in any language you know. The mission briefing is 4 minutes long. A map, a grid coordinate, a time window. The officer speaks without hesitation, without pause, without looking at anyone directly. He speaks to the space above your heads. "Questions," he says at the end. No one asks any. The night before the mission, you can't sleep. You lie on your back with your eyes open and listen to the sound of the other pilots breathing. Some of them are asleep. You don't understand how. You think about your father's garden, the persimmon tree near the gate, the way it smelled after rain. You think about your mother's hands. You think about a dog you had as a child. His name was Kuro. Black fur. Bad breath. Used to sleep across your feet in winter. You think about all of this for a long time. Then you stop. You close your eyes. You breathe. The morning comes without asking. You dress in the dark. You eat rice standing up. You walk to the airfield. The sky is the color of slate. Cold air. No wind. Your Zero sits on the runway, refueled, loaded. Stripped of everything that was meant to bring you home. Your instructor stands beside it. He doesn't speak. He looks at you. Then he bows. Slowly. Formally. The kind of bow you give to someone who has done something irreversible. You bow back. You climb in. The engine starts. The vibration moves through your hands, through your arms, through your chest. The runway blurs beneath you. Then you are up. The ground falls away. The airfield shrinks. Japan shrinks. And then there is only the ocean below and the sky above and the silence you always loved. For a few minutes, you just fly. You don't think about the target. You don't think about the angle. You just fly the way you did before any of this had a name. The ocean stretches out in every direction, gray and enormous. You see the ship before the radio crackles. Target confirmed. You don't answer. You adjust your heading. The ship grows. You can see the shape of it now. The gun turrets. The deck. Tiny figures moving. Your hands are steady. That surprises you. You thought they would shake. You thought your body would fight you. But your hands are completely still. The angle is correct. You are holding it. The deck fills the glass in front of you. You think about the persimmon tree, the rain smell, Kuro sleeping on your feet. You think about the letter, whether it arrived, whether your mother read the part about the clouds. The ship is very close now. You are not afraid. You were right about that. You close your eyes, just for a moment. One last silence. Then the world ends. Not the way you imagined it. Not clean, not quiet. The first sound is metal, a tearing, high and sharp, like something screaming that was never meant to scream. Then the impact. Not pain, something beyond pain. A wall of force that moves through your body before your body understands what is happening. The cockpit fractures around you. Glass goes white. The controls disappear from your hands. You feel heat. You feel pressure. You feel the ocean rushing up in a direction that no longer makes sense. Sound collapses into one long, continuous roar. Fire, metal, water. The engine still running for one impossible second, and then not. Somewhere, very far away, you hear something like a voice. Or maybe it is the wind. Or maybe it is nothing. The roar fades, the heat fades, the pressure fades, everything fades. Until there is only the darkness, clean and total. The silence you always loved. But longer now, much longer. On the deck of the USS Franklin, no one speaks for a full 3 seconds. Smoke rises from the impact point near the starboard side. The fire suppression crew is already moving. Hoses drag across wet metal. Orders snap through the air in short, hard sentences. But the men who saw it happen are still standing where they stood, looking at the place where the plane hit, looking at the wreckage. A young sailor named Davis, barely 20, is the first one to step toward it. He picks his way through twisted aluminum and broken wood. His boots crunch over shattered glass. The smoke is thick and hot and chemical. He pulls his collar over his mouth. He moves forward. The plane is almost unrecognizable. The fuselage has split open. The engine sits embedded in the deck like a stone dropped from a great height. And there, half inside the wreckage, half outside it, is the pilot. Davis stops. He looks down. The pilot is young. That is the first thing Davis notices. Younger than he expected. Younger than himself, maybe. The flight suit is torn. The goggles are gone. The face is still. Not peaceful exactly. Just still. The way a face goes when all the decisions have been made. Davis takes off his helmet. He holds it at his side. He doesn't know why he does this. He just does.